Okay, let's make some reading goals for this year, shall we? Okay, I don't usually make resolutions and things like that because I don't trust myself to follow my own rules, which is weird because I love book challenges and like reading goals and that kind of thing. Anyway, these are five like book related things that I'm going to try to do in the new year. The easiest one I think is going to be the first one, which is reading at least 50% of my current library. This past year, my data was that I read 66% of my books were read from what I already have, whether that be audiobook and just having the physical book or a mixture of the two or just purely physical. I already owned the books. So I want to continue to, pull books out of my own library before I go off and buy more, or I check books out that are new releases. Like, yeah, it's shiny and new and everybody wants it, but so was this shelf over here last year. But I think reading 50% is a realistic goal. And it's one of those ones that's realistic enough that if I'm better than 50%, I will feel better about myself, which is nice. Number two is I want to annotate one book per semester. I almost made this quarterly, like every 4 months I would, or every 3 months. Yeah, 3 times 4 is 12, you idiot. Every 3 months I would annotate a book. I've tried to do this thing in the past where I've like annotated older school books, the things you might teach, which is partially why I read Catcher in the Rye this fall for the independent reading thing that my class did, but also because I knew it was my friend Gina's, like one of her favorites. So I wanted to read it and see what the hype was about. But I did it also so that I had a model for my students to see when they were doing the project, but I was doing it with them. Well, now I already have The Catcher in the Rye, so I can make another one this semester, so January to May, of another book, and then another book in the fall. So since a year starts in January, even though my school year starts in August, that means I'm going to do the spring semester and the fall semester. I've also already picked out the book that I'm going to annotate. For the spring semester, I'm going to be reading for independent reading time and annotating Gregory Maguire's Wicked. I had this spare paperback copy, and so I'm just going to use this to mark it up. I found annotation tabs that I think match the book decently. And I'm going to get a notebook once I go back to my actual classroom. I've got a few extras. I can't decide if I want it to be burgundy, like my Catcher in the Rye one, or if I want it to be green. I think it has to be green, you know? And then I'm like, okay, what do I do? Like a darker forest green, or do I do the bright lime green? Decisions. It'll probably be the darker green. Lime green was popular with my guys in class, and I think I want to make sure I have plenty of their favorite color for them to use. But either way, this is going to be what I do for the spring, and depending on how this goes, I don't know what I'll do for fall yet, but we'll see when we get there. My third goal for this year is I want to read 100 books. I've made my goal 100 books the last like 4 or 5 years. The kind of official, unofficial goal along with that is I want to read 124 books because I always want to read what I did the year before plus one. I did feel like I was kind of at a breakneck speed this year. The year I read 134 books, same thing. I felt like I was a little too fast. And if I can't remember things well after I read it, like, did I really read it? And like, I know I'm getting old, but my memory's not that bad. But 124 seems doable to me, especially given how many times I have to reread books for school. Um, and the summer when I can read like 16 to 20 books in a month, that'll help a lot. But the main goal is 100. The realistic, like achievable, uh, ultimate goal is 124. The fourth challenge to myself for the year is I need to finish the multiple series that I haven't finished yet. This includes at the very top, The Diviners, a book and book series I love but have not finished. I need to finish the Folk of the Air series. I've only read The Cruel Prince. I need to read whatever the series is that has A Curse So Dark and Lonely is the first book. I need to read the rest of that because it has a whole spin-off series I haven't touched. I need to read more of the Noxima series, or is that the name of the third book? Is this the maybe no? Because Apostle of no. Oh my God, it's Lindsay Ellis's book about the aliens. It's that one, Truth of the Divine It's Axioms of the End, Truth of the Divine, and Apostles of Mercy. It is the Noxima series. I knew I wasn't stupid. But that third one comes out this year. I need to get it together. I got to read that book. What's some other ones I can think of? Oh my God, I got to read Bloodmarked. I started it. I'm so sorry, Tracy Dion. I love your work. I haven't finished Bloodmarked. It was really good, but I was in the middle of a play and my brain, I live with my mom. I should be forgiven for the experience of last December. There's so many others that I think I've read like the first or maybe even first two books in a series, and I have not read the rest of them, and it's embarrassing, and I should feel bad. So I need to go ahead and finish those. So that is like my fourth one is get those series finished. And some of the series aren't finished, right? Like obviously Bloodmarked is the second in a book series that is continuing. The book from Lindsay Ellis, I believe that's at least supposed to be a quartet, if not more. They're not done yet, but I need to stay caught up. I can at least read the most recent books. So the Diviners, I have no excuse. Folk there, I have no excuse. The Curse Breakers, that's what it is. Curse Breakers thing, no excuse. Get it together. Get it together. Read those. Okay, that's four. The fifth reading goal is less related to books in this channel and more related to just social media in general. I'd like to post weekly to Instagram as just a challenge to myself to see if I can create interesting media once a week of what I'm reading, whether that be just a regular picture of, my food in a book or a shot with a cool background. I was pretty good at it for a while, but during the school year, I neglect it. And I got to get better at that. So that's my fifth reading goal. I think these are pretty achievable goals personally, and I'm looking forward to trying, especially the owned books, because I can kind of get that accomplished just by finishing goal 4, which is finishing those series. What are your reading goals for the new year? Do you have any that maybe I didn't think of? I tried not to make this too overly complicated for myself so I could actually, you know, achieve my goals. But let me know what you're doing. Maybe that will inspire me in the future. Okay, bye.